You know, God bless America. I love what you're doing. I love this.
Ian, wake up. It's time to do the news, Ian.
It's news time! Welcome to the Dimsb News Network. Today we got a special segment for you looking over the past years of legislation.
What's the first one?
Federal Trade Commission Act.
Thank you for introducing us into that segment with such a nice segue.
You're all welcome.
You're good to go. Alright, let's talk about the Federal Trade Commission Act. It was adopted in the United States in 1914.
Was it?
Yeah.
What did it do?
It created the Federal Trade Commission.
Wow.
The FTC for short.
When did that happen recently? You know that, right?
It was
just
recent.
happened.
It was recent.
That's where we're reporting on it right now.
We're reporting on it because it was recent.
It was designed to achieve two goals.
What were those two goals, Matthew?
Fair competition between businesses and, guess what? Protection of consumers against fraudulent business practices.
Dope. What's up next, Blake? What do we have next?
Read it.
Read it.
That.
Read it.
Sherman and Clayton Antitrust Acts.
Thank you. You're good to go. You guys ever heard of the Sherman and Clayton Antitrust Act?
I have.
Well, here at the Dimsb News Network, we have.
The law was enacted in 1914 by the United States Congress to clarify and strengthen the Sherman Antitrust Act. But what's the Sherman Antitrust Act, Ian?
The Sherman Antitrust Act was an act placed by the big boys upstairs to make sure no businesses are making monopolies. So that means when you control an entire industry and you set the prices and they're super unfair, so everybody's like, why are the prices so high? That's because of you. Stop having monopolies. So Sherman was all like, I don't trust this. So he made the Sherman Antitrust Act.
So, then the Clayton Antitrust Act. How did it clarify and strengthen the Sherman Antitrust Act? Ian?
Well, I'm so glad you asked, Matthew, because I'm going to tell you right now. Other business practices that weren't previously illegal are now illegal, such as specific forms of holding companies and interlocking directories were forbidden. Is there anything else?
As were discriminatory freight, shipping, agreements, and the distribution of sales territories among so-called natural competitors.
Federal Reserve Act.
The Federal Reserve Act was created on December 23rd, 1913, when President Woodrow Wilson signed the Federal Reserve Act into law.
The Federal Reserve Act of 1913 established the Federal Reserve System as a central bank of the United States. You know what that did?
What did that do?
It made the banking system of the United States and the financial system of the United States more stable. This law also sets out purposes, structures, and functions of the system, as well as outlines aspects of its operations and accountability. Thanks, guys.
What was life like before the 17th Amendment? Well, I tell you what, state legislators elected their own senators, so the people didn't have enough choice or freedom to pick who represented them. So, when the 17th Amendment was created, it allowed the people to choose the senators for their state.
That's you.
That's you. Watching
the
this
people.
at home. You, in Mr. Lepianka's classroom, you guys are the people. You can't vote yet, but soon when you turn 18, you're going to be able to vote.
Hey guys, guess what just happened? The 16th Amendment.
Dude,
What did that do?
you know how recently that just happened? So recent that we're reporting on it.
Income tax!
Income tax happened.
Income tax!
The money you make, some of it is going to the government.
Why?
Why are they doing that? Why are they stealing your hard-earned money?
This 16th Amendment, the big part of it was income tax. And this amendment gave Congress legal authority to tax the income and resulted in a revenue law that taxed incomes of both individuals and corporations. So that's individuals and corporations.
In fiscal year 1918, annual internal revenue collections for the first time passed the $1 billion mark. That's a lot of money.
That is a lot of money, Ian.
But more recently, it rose to 5.4 billion in 1920.
Last year.
Last year.
That was a year ago.
That was a year
It's
ago.
1921.
It's
right
1921. We are reporting on this in 1921. It says here on our notes that we should mention that alcohol is illegal now. You can't booze up. You know what I'm saying? Whoa, that's...
Also, women can vote.
So you probably want to know what people think about all these laws and acts and all that stuff. So we have our live reporters in the field getting the scoop. Before we get to that, we have a special message from our sponsor, Henry Ford. Get a load of this.
Hello, my name is Henry Ford, and I'm introducing you to the Ford Model T. Just put it out, fastest car on the market that is available for the average U.S. man. So go pick up your Ford Model T. It's awesome. It really is.
What's your opinion on income tax? Well said.
Excuse me, sir. Hold on. Want to see some pretty cool junk? What do you think about the Elkins Act of 1903, the thing that just happened, just recently?
I think it's pretty lit. I think, we're out here. Elkins, that's my guy, honestly. Pretty cool that act is happening.
What do you think about the Sherman Antitrust Act?
I think that betters business.
Say it again. Yeah, I would say that'd probably be a good thing. Like monopolies are like that's that was part of that was why the fucking Rockefellers and whatnot were taken down, and things like child labor acts were put into play, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
What do you think of the Federal Trade Commission Act?
Establish the Federal Trade Commission. Great. Very good.
Sure.
I'm the ham rocker. I'm the ham rock from Fred Rock.
Fred Rock. Yeah.
From Fred Rock. We are in Fred Rock, correct?
We're in Fred Rock.
And what are you boys doing? I love it. I love this experiment you guys are doing.
What are you guys doing?
We're interviewing people for the Dimsb News Network.
What do you
You
got?
know, like that is awesome.
Right. So,
Income tax. What do you think about it?
I think we should abolish the IRS. You take away innovation. When you take innovation away, you won't have the Andrew Carnegies of the world. You won't have the
Right.
Microsofts of the world. You're going to be taxed to death. Next question.
Recently, they prohibited alcohol. What do you think about the prohibition of alcohol?
Who made that? Who made that?
Who made it?
No, who proposed prohibiting alcohol?
The government.
It hasn't happened.
All right, so that was some great stuff from our in the field reporters. They really did ask for their opinions.
They did.
And so that brings us to the conclusion of our newscast. You have any closing words to say?
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much for watching that video. Leave a like, subscribe. Yes. Woo!
You know what? You can show your teachers this. They can meet up with me. Mark Hamrick, the Ham Rocker. I'm going to be a county executive. I'm going to kick Kai Hagen's